Welcome to Deck of DM Things. My name is Cole Porter. Let me start by asking you a question. What do you think the most common action is during combat in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition? Well, it's combat, so you'd probably say the attack action, and most likely you would be right, because after all, we are trying to kill stuff. At least for martial classes. Spellcasters, probably casting spells. But sometimes combat can become repetitive. If you're playing a basic martial class like a fighter, sometimes combat can even become boring. For the sake of example, let's say we're playing a 5th level fighter with a subclass of champion, just for its simplicity. Now at 5th level, fighters have 2 attacks. For most players, both of those attacks are used to hit an enemy with the weapon, which again makes sense because we're trying to kill said enemy. You are a fighter after all. But what if I told you there was a type of attack written into the player's handbook that could take you from a boring martial class to a battlefield strategist? Before I explain this, let's review the 2 most common types of attacks. 1, you attack an enemy with your weapon. You make an attack roll, compare it against the enemy's armor class, and if it meets or exceeds that AC, then you are able to deal damage to that enemy. 2, you have the grapple attack. Grapples are a type of attack that allow you to reduce an enemy's speed to 0. To do so, you have to make a contested athletics check against that enemy, and if you succeed, that enemy is now reduced in their speed to 0, and you are able to move that enemy if you wanted to. But what I'm most interested in talking about today is a different type of attack that I've almost never seen used in gameplay, and I've rarely heard it discussed. And that is the shove attack. Here is how the shove attack is written. Using the attack action, you can make a special melee attack to shove a creature, either to knock it prone or to push it away from you. If you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them. The target must be no more than 1 size larger than you and must be within your reach. Instead of making an attack roll, you make an athletics check contested by the target's either athletics or acrobatics check. The choice is theirs. If you win the contest, and this is the important part, you either knock the target prone or push it 5 feet away from you. Let me hit that last line one more time. If you succeed on the shove attack, you can either knock the target prone or push it 5 feet away from you. Now, why would you want to use a shove attack instead of a regular weapon attack? Well, a shove attack allows you to knock a creature prone, which provides you and any other creature attacking it within 5 feet advantage on the attacks against that creature. And on the different side of the same coin, that creature now has disadvantage on any of its attack rolls. And lastly, in order to end the condition of being prone, the creature must use half its movement to stand up. So let's paint a picture. Let's say you're playing a 5th level champion fighter in a party with 2 other players who are playing a rogue and a paladin, both of which like to fight up close and personal just like you. You could, in theory, use both of your attacks to attack with your weapon, and that's fine. Or, if you want to take this to the next level, you can do this instead. You can use your first attack to make a shove attack. If successful, you can knock the enemy prone. Then, using your second attack, you can make a grapple attack. As you grapple them, you reduce their speed to 0, which means they cannot stand up from the prone condition because standing up from prone requires that you use half your speed. And if your speed is 0, there's no standing up. What this does is open up the rest of your party to absolutely destroy this creature. At 5th level, both paladins and rogues have 2 attacks, so even within this 3-member party, you already have 4 attacks being made against this creature with advantage. And in this specific example, rogues also have an ability called sneak attack, which allows them to once per turn add extra damage when attacking a creature with advantage. Now you may be thinking this is a lot to do for 1 round of advantage attacks, but it really goes beyond that, because when the creature's turn comes back around, it has a decision to make, and therefore your dungeon master has a decision to make. That creature can either attack with disadvantage from the prone condition or try to stand up. However, as I said before, it cannot stand up because it is grappled. So it has to use its full action to try and break from your grapple. So either way you slice it, this enemy is in for a very, very bad time. because it either maintains a condition of being attacked with advantage and attacking with disadvantage, or it sacrifices an action to attempt to break free of a grapple, so then it can try to stand up. That's what I call creative combat, and that's why I made this video. That being said, there are some caveats to consider. While attacks made within 5 feet of a creature who is prone do have advantage, attacks made outside of that 5-foot radius now have disadvantage. So please keep that in mind, depending on what the positioning of your party is like. Additionally, like regular weapon attacks, a shove attack or a grapple attack does have a chance to fail, which means that there's a chance that you might waste your attacks trying to do this. So what do you think? Is this a combo that you could use in one of your games? Or maybe one of your other party members could use? If so, send this video to them and let me know in the comments what you think about it. Have you used shove attacks before, or is this your first time hearing about them? If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. This is a brand new channel, but I have been doing D&D content over on TikTok for several years now. So if you're on TikTok and you want some daily D&D doses onto your FYP, please consider following me over there as well. Thank you for watching, and may you always roll with advantage. Cheers.